I'm Don Reed, and today we're at Link Studios in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, and we're going to speak to Scott Bywater, who's busy recording an album. And Scott's been great to give us a little bit of time out of his busy schedule to answer a few questions. Welcome, Scott.
Thank you very much, Don.
So this is your first album?
This is my first album for a very long time. I recorded one when I was about 20 years old.
Wow.
On cassette back in those days, released on cassette. And there were songs of a 19, 18, 19, 20-year-old.
So is this album all original songs?
This album is like the first album. This album is all original songs.
And what's your inspiration for these songs?
The world around me, you know. It's
what's your process for writing songs?
Well, I'm a bit analog actually. I carry around a one of these.
All right. I've heard of these things.
And one of these. And I have an idea, I'll write it down. It might turn into a poem, it might turn into a song.
Oh.
Later I sit down with the guitar and sort something out.
So I assume that's the same process you use for your poetry as well?
Yeah, that's the same.
Oh, okay, cool. Do you find poems turn into songs sometimes? Or?
Occasionally.
Yeah.
Occasionally. More often I'm fairly clear what it is that I'm working with straight away, and then it'll be. But then both the writing the poetry informs the songwriting, and writing the songs informs the poetry. There are similar techniques that you would use with both.
And so, if you had to put this album into a genre, what would it be?
I guess it's rock and roll. I mean, that's very broad, but it has everything from straight out rock and roll to there's one very folky number. There's a more Latin-y tinged thing. This is sort of I came of age in the 70s and 80s where you didn't really need to be fixed terribly much. What the song calls for is what the song gets.
Right. Okay. So I know you've been working with some pretty big name local guys. Care to share some of that with us?
Yes. About 2/3 of the songs on this album are recorded with my band Moitiet, which up until recently included Pavel Ramirez on guitar and Antti Citronen on drums. They're both giving their time for this project.
Wow.
The bass player I use on all of my for most of my live stuff and all the recording is Adrian Cairo, who's also helping to engineer and produce the album.
Wow, that's great. I saw some of the Camp Hot Playboy guys here on the weekend.
Yes, that was a fairly special little recording. For that particular song, Guernsey Girl, I wanted to get a very folky kind of feeling. So, yes, Kev and Mark from the Camp Hot Playboys, and Chris on the fiddle, which was very nice.
For that, and it was sounded great. So looking forward to that. So when do you think the album will be out?
I'm expecting something, given the vagaries of people going back to France on holiday. I'd probably say September.
Yeah, that's pretty close. All right, that'll be a good stocking stuffer.
I hope so. Just in time for Christmas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So on that note, we'll wrap this up and let you get back to work.
Thank you very much, Don.
Thanks for your time, man.